Hello and welcome to the Kipsie introductory video. I'm Scott, the creator of Kipsie, and in this video I will be talking about what Kipsie is and what you can do with it. The first thing to understand about Kipsie is that it is built on three primary concepts. There is an entry, stream, and display. So an entry would be a single thing. All of these news articles here are individual entries. All of these books and movies are entries. So any one thing is organized as an entry. And if you are looking at many things, that is a stream. So here I will open a stream of fantasy movies. And this is one particular display. If you go to this monitor icon up here, you see other display options. Before we look at those, though, let's look at an entry. So an entry is one thing. It starts with a name. That's the minimum of an entry. Beyond that, you can add text in the form of notes, images, data in the form of tags, and connections to other entries, among a variety of other options that you can add to it. So you start with one thing, and then you can look at many things. So the display options range from this simple presentation called a pinboard display, which just shows the picture, the title, and arranges them in a very compact manner. Another optional display is the summary display, which looks perhaps more like a blog, where you get the summary of the entry along with it. But Kipsie tries to expand on the concept by offering displays which provide more information. So one is the timeline display, which, just like it sounds, presents these entries in a scrollable timeline. We can change this one a bit to focus on the icons of these entries. And in this particular display, you can actually load multiple streams at once, which is something that a couple of the displays provide. So here we load up another search where we have sci-fi movies. We'll load that into the first timeline. Once again, go to icon view, and now we're seeing how all of these related in time. Now, there's not a lot of information provided in these movies. We see when they were released at the same time. But what might be more interesting is if you had a timeline of your own life information or someone that you were interested in, perhaps an actor from one of these movies. You could load up the actor's timeline along with their movies that they performed in, and you could see what was going on in their life at the same time that they were making your favorite movies. Another possible display is the visualization display. This provides an in-depth look at the information, the numbers and connections connected to entries. Here we have all those movies again, and we don't have any information associated with them to show in this display, so we'll go to the value field, and being movies, we can see how much money they made. So if we update the display to show that, we now see what movies were the top performers and which didn't make as much money. We could also see perhaps what year they came out in. So now they're colored based on their year. And we see these are 2013, 2012, etc. We can also see the connections between entries. So to do that, we'll go back to this movie. And we can load up a stream of the actors from this movie. So these are entries for a variety of actors, all who performed in the Avengers, as we can see here. If we load them back into the visualization display, we can change the visualization to be a graph or network display. So these being people, we will look up their performance, and here we see a large display of actors and their movies. Now, of course, all we can see is data points. This isn't particularly useful. We see one actor with their many performances. So let's see what those performances were in. Here we have loaded up three streams of entries. We have actors, their performances, and the movies that those performances were in. And now we see how they are all connected. To make it a little more easy to understand, we're going to visualize them by what that group is, so we can tell apart movies from actors. And notice that we still have the gross revenue as the size of the node in this graph display. So of course they are all connected by Avengers, the movie that we started with, but some of these actors are connected by other movies. This being a film franchise, we can expect that the connections will be other movies within those franchises. So in this particular display, we have a wealth of information. We have a variety of actors, their performances, their movies, how they're connected, and how well they performed. And this is just one configuration. The whole concept of Kipsie is that this can be any information you desire. This display doesn't need to be useful for the information that you put in. You can just go back to the pinboard display and see everything as simply as you would in any other website. You can browse it. Hopefully it has interesting information that's simple to navigate. And it works, this account, the Kipsie account, works similar to a wiki in that anybody can come in and provide information. So this can grow with the community. People can check the information, provide their own. Or you can create your own account, keep it private or share it with friends and put in your own information. For instance, I use it to keep a journal of what I do throughout the day. And then I can view that information in a timeline. I can view connections between what I do or the people I'm with. So that is Kipsie in a nutshell. It's a very basic concept which tries to bring out the greatest value possible from the information contained in it. And you can use it in any way you like. You can come onto the website and start discussions on topics that you're interested in. You can record your life. You can explore things that you care about and do whatever you like. So thank you for watching. I hope this was very useful and that you understand what Kipsie is. You can log on now and create an account if you like. And I hope it is useful to you. Thank you.